This prayer will calm your anxiety now. Don't ignore it. If your chest feels tight, your thoughts won't slow down, and your heart feels restless, stop scrolling. This prayer is not for later, it's for right now. Anxiety is not only something happening in your mind, it is already moving through your body. You can feel it in your breathing, in the tension you didn't notice building in your neck and shoulders, in the way your heart feels alert even though there is no immediate danger. Anxiety often arrives quietly. It doesn't always come as panic. Sometimes it comes as restlessness, as an inability to sit still, as a sense that you should be doing something, fixing something, preparing for something, even when nothing is actually happening. Your body stays on guard, as if peace would be careless, and over time, that constant alertness becomes exhausting. You may have already tried to calm yourself. You told yourself to relax. You reminded yourself that things are not as bad as they feel. You distracted your mind with noise, tasks, or your phone. You pushed forward because that is what strong people are taught to do. But anxiety does not respond to logic alone. It does not respond to pressure, it responds to safety. Right now, your body is not asking for answers. It is asking for reassurance. It is asking for a signal that it does not have to stay tense. And the longer that signal does not come, the louder the anxiety becomes. Not because you are weak, but because your nervous system has been carrying more than it was meant to carry for too long. This is why ignoring anxiety never works. You can override it for a while, but it will return stronger, more demanding, more insistent. Anxiety is not your enemy. It is a message that something inside you needs care, not correction. And that care does not come from forcing yourself to be calm. It comes from allowing calm to meet you where you are. Do not ignore this pause. The fact that you stopped here is important. Something in you recognized the need for stillness before you even understood it. You do not need to explain your anxiety. You do not need to justify it. You do not need to clean yourself up before coming to God. You are allowed to arrive exactly as you are, tense, tired, overwhelmed, and unsure. Peace does not begin when anxiety disappears. Peace begins when you stop fighting your body and allow it to feel safe again. That safety starts with slowing down, not speeding up, with staying, not escaping, with listening, not judging. Right now, nothing is being asked of you. You are not being tested. You are not being evaluated. You are being invited to rest your guard for a moment, to let your breathing soften, to let your shoulders lower, to let your heart realize it does not have to solve everything at once. Stay here. Do not rush ahead. What comes next will help you understand what your anxiety has been trying to communicate beneath the noise. And once that understanding begins, calm will no longer feel out of reach. It will feel possible again, one moment at a time. Anxiety does not always announce itself in obvious ways. Sometimes it hides behind productivity, behind constant thinking, behind the feeling that you should be doing more even when you are already exhausted. Your thoughts keep moving, jumping from one concern to another, refusing to settle. Logic tries to intervene, but the body does not respond. It is not listening to explanations. It is responding to a deeper signal. There are moments when anxiety makes you feel unsafe without giving you a clear reason. Nothing dramatic is happening, yet your body stays tense, your chest feels tight, your stomach feels unsettled, your mind keeps scanning for threats that are not clearly there. This can be confusing because you cannot point to a single cause. The lack of explanation makes the feeling even heavier. Emotional overload often follows. Small things feel bigger than they should. Decisions feel harder. Simple interactions drain more energy than usual. You may feel on edge or unusually sensitive, not because you are fragile, but because your system is overstimulated. Anxiety accumulates quietly until it reaches a point where rest feels difficult, even when you have the opportunity to rest. Spiritually, this kind of anxiety can feel isolating. You may pray, yet the anxious feeling remains. That can make you wonder if you are doing something wrong, But anxiety does not always respond to prayer the way we expect, because it is not only a spiritual experience, it is physical, emotional, psychological. And those layers are deeply connected. Anxiety doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just refuses to let you rest. It keeps your mind alert when it should be settling. It keeps your body tense when it should be releasing. And because these symptoms are subtle, they are often minimized or ignored. But naming them matters. Awareness lowers resistance. Recognition creates space for calm to enter. You are not imagining what you feel. Your experience is real, even if it is hard to describe. And understanding this is important, because what comes next depends on acknowledging what anxiety has been doing beneath the surface. Once you stop dismissing these signals, you can begin responding to them in a way that actually brings relief. Anxiety often grows louder when it is ignored, yet many people are taught to do exactly that. Push through, stay busy, be strong, do not slow down. On the surface, this looks like resilience, but underneath, it teaches the body that its signals are not welcome. And when the body is not heard, it repeats the message with more intensity. Ignoring anxiety feels productive at first. You keep moving, you keep functioning. You convince yourself that if you just stay occupied, the feeling will pass. But anxiety does not dissolve through avoidance. It stores itself. It waits. And when there is finally a quiet moment, it comes back stronger, because it was never addressed, only postponed. Distraction does not create peace. It only delays awareness. You can fill your mind with noise, information, or activity, but the body keeps score. Tension accumulates in the muscles. Breathing stays shallow. Sleep becomes lighter. Over time, the nervous system learns that it must stay alert because no one is responding to its signals. This is why anxiety often returns at night or in still moments. When distraction fades, what was ignored becomes visible again. The mind replays worries. The body tightens. The heart feels restless. Ignoring anxiety teaches it to wait for silence, not to disappear. Calm does not come from control. It comes from acknowledgement. The moment you stop fighting the feeling and start noticing it, something shifts. Anxiety loses part of its grip when it is allowed to exist without judgment. This does not mean giving in to fear. It means recognizing what your body is communicating. What you ignore in the body, it repeats in the mind. This is not a failure, it is feedback. The body repeats what the mind has not yet understood. When you listen instead of resist, the repetition softens. Anxiety begins to feel less like an enemy and more like a signal asking for care. Strength is not pushing through discomfort without awareness. Real strength is the ability to pause, notice, and respond wisely. Anxiety does not need to be conquered. It needs to be met. And meeting it requires slowing down enough to listen. Once you understand this, anxiety stops feeling like something you must escape from. It becomes something you can approach without fear. And that understanding opens the door to a deeper truth. Anxiety is not a sign that your faith is weak. It is a sign that your system needs peace, not pressure. Anxiety is often mistaken for weak faith, and that misunderstanding adds a second layer of pain to an already heavy experience. You feel anxious, and then you feel guilty for feeling anxious. You start questioning yourself. If my faith was stronger, I wouldn't feel like this. If I trusted God more, my body wouldn't react this way. But anxiety is not a moral failure, and it is not evidence that God has stepped away from you. Faithful people feel anxious. Deeply faithful people feel anxious. Scripture is filled with men and women who trusted God and still felt overwhelmed, afraid, and emotionally stretched. Anxiety does not cancel faith. It reveals that you are human, living in a body designed to respond to stress and uncertainty. Faith does not remove the nervous system. It invites God into it. God's presence does not disappear when anxiety appears. He does not withdraw when your heart races or your thoughts spiral. He does not measure your worth by how calm you can remain under pressure. Anxiety does not offend him. It does not surprise him. It does not disqualify you from his care. Anxiety is not a sin to repent of. It is a signal to respond to. A signal that your system has been carrying too much for too long. A signal that peace has been interrupted, not that faith has failed. When anxiety is treated as a spiritual flaw, people hide it. When it is treated as a signal, people heal. This distinction matters because guilt intensifies anxiety. The belief that you should not feel what you feel keeps your body on edge. It tells your nervous system that even its signals are unsafe. But when anxiety is allowed to exist without shame, the body begins to relax. Safety returns. Calm becomes possible. Feeling anxious does not mean you lack faith. It means your nervous system needs peace, and peace is not something you force yourself into. It is something you receive. God offers peace, not as a reward for perfect faith, but as a gift for weary hearts. Understanding this changes how you approach prayer. You stop coming to God trying to prove your trust. You come honestly, aware of what you are carrying. You stop asking him to fix you and allow him to calm you. That shift is essential because the body must feel safe before the soul can fully rest. This is why the next step is not more thinking or more effort. It is stillness, intentional stillness, a moment where the body is gently guided out of alert mode and into rest. Before the prayer begins, the body must be invited to slow down. That invitation is what allows peace to move from words into experience. Before any prayer can calm the mind, the body needs permission to slow down. Anxiety keeps the nervous system alert, scanning, bracing. And as long as the body believes it must stay ready for danger, peace feels distant, even when the words of prayer are sincere. This is why stillness is not a luxury, it is a doorway. Stillness does not mean forcing yourself to relax. Forcing creates resistance. Stillness begins with allowing your breath to slow without controlling it, allowing your jaw to unclench without telling it to, allowing your shoulders to drop without correcting yourself. These small releases send a powerful signal to the body that it can stand down. Your body has been working hard to protect you. Even when anxiety feels uncomfortable, its intention has been safety. Acknowledging that softens the internal struggle. You are no longer fighting yourself. You are cooperating with the part of you that has been trying to help, even if it has been overwhelmed. Begin by noticing your breath, not changing it yet. Simply notice where it is shallow, where it catches, where it feels rushed. Awareness alone begins to slow it. Then gently allow the breath to deepen, not dramatically, just enough to feel space return to your chest. Each slow breath tells your nervous system that the moment is safe. Notice your hands. Anxiety often hides there. Fingers tight, palms tense. Let them rest open even slightly. This openness communicates safety more clearly than words ever could. Then notice your shoulders. How long have they been holding tension without rest? Let them drop, even a little. That small movement is a message to your body that it does not have to carry everything right now. Stillness prepares the ground for prayer. Without it, prayer stays in the mind. With it, prayer reaches the body. Peace must be felt, not only believed. And the body listens more to sensation than to instruction. When the body begins to settle, the mind follows naturally. This is not wasted time. This is alignment. You are aligning your internal state with the truth you are about to speak. Anxiety thrives in speed. Peace settles in slowness. By choosing stillness now, you are choosing to meet God not from urgency, but from presence. Nothing else needs to happen yet. You do not need to say anything. You do not need to ask anything. Let the stillness work. Let the body realize it is not alone. Let the nervous system feel supported instead of rushed. Once the body begins to settle, prayer no longer feels like effort. It becomes a response. And from this place of calm, the prayer that follows will not fight anxiety. It will replace it gently. The prayer begins here, not as a performance, not as a demand, but as a place of safety. You are not trying to convince God of anything. You are not asking him to prove himself. You are simply allowing his presence to meet you where you are, exactly as you are. Take a slow breath and let these words settle without rushing them. God, right now I come to you carrying more than I know how to hold. My body feels tense. My mind feels restless. My heart feels unsettled. I am not hiding this from you. I am not trying to appear strong. I am bringing you what is real. I ask for peace, not as an idea, but as an experience. Peace that reaches my thoughts and slows them down. Peace that reaches my body and tells it that it is safe. Peace that settles my heart where fear has been speaking too loudly. I release the need to understand everything right now. I release the pressure to fix what feels broken. I release the weight of responsibility that I was never meant to carry alone. I place it in your care, trusting that you are present, even when answers are not immediate. Calm my breathing. Ease the tension I have been holding unconsciously. Let my shoulders rest. Let my jaw soften. Let my chest feel space again. I receive calm, not because I earned it, but because you offer it freely. God, remind my nervous system that it does not have to stay alert. Remind my thoughts that they do not have to race. Replace fear with reassurance. Replace restlessness with stillness. Replace worry with trust, one breath at a time. I do not ask you to remove everything at once. I ask you to meet me in this moment, to cover me with your presence, to let your peace settle slowly, deeply, naturally. I allow myself to feel safe with you now. I trust that I am not alone in this. I trust that you are holding what I cannot. I trust that calm is possible even before circumstances change. And I receive that calm now, gently, without pressure. Remain here for a moment. Let the prayer continue working beneath the words. Let peace move at its own pace. Nothing needs to be rushed. As this prayer continues, it is important to hear reassurance woven into it, because anxiety often returns when the mind wonders if it is doing something wrong. You are not doing anything wrong right now. You are not failing at prayer. You are not expected to feel instantly calm. Peace does not arrive on command. It arrives when safety is felt. You are safe in this moment. Nothing is required of you. You do not need to analyze your feelings. You do not need to control your thoughts. Thoughts may still pass through your mind, and that is okay. Let them come and go without engaging them. They do not need answers right now. They only need permission to pass without being followed. If your body still feels tense, that does not mean the prayer is not working. It means your nervous system is learning that it can release gradually. Anxiety built over time. Calm is allowed to return the same way, slowly, gently, without force. Each breath you take in this moment is already a sign of progress. You do not need to fix anything. You do not need to reach a certain emotional state. You are allowed to rest exactly where you are. God's presence is not activated by perfect focus. It is constant. Even if your attention drifts, even if your thoughts wander, you are still held. Let your body hear this clearly. You are not in danger. You are not late. You are not being tested. There is nothing you need to solve before you can rest. The alertness you feel has been protecting you for a long time. Thank it silently for trying to help and let it know it can take a break now. If your breathing changes, allow it. If it stays the same, allow that too. There is no correct response. Peace is not fragile. It does not disappear because your mind moves. It settles underneath the movement, waiting for space to expand. Stay with the sensation of being supported rather than the expectation of feeling different. Sometimes calm arrives as a subtle softening, not a dramatic shift. A small release in the shoulders, a slightly deeper breath, a sense that you do not need to hurry. God is with you in this moment, not observing from a distance, not waiting for you to calm down first. He is present in the tension and in the release. His presence does not depend on how you feel. It remains steady even as your experience changes. Let reassurance replace urgency. Let gentleness replace effort. You are allowed to take up space in this moment without explaining yourself. Nothing is being taken from you. Nothing is being demanded. You are simply being held. Remain here. Let calm continue to settle at its own pace. There is no rush to move on. The prayer is still working, even in the quiet spaces between words. Let the quiet stay a little longer. There is no need to rush away from this moment just because the prayer words have softened. Anxiety often returns when peace is hurried. Calm needs space to settle, the same way stirred water needs time to become clear again. What you are feeling now does not need to be explained or evaluated. It only needs to be allowed. Peace rarely arrives as a sudden switch. More often, it comes as a gentle easing. A small release you almost miss if you are looking for something dramatic. A subtle change in your breathing, a slight loosening in your chest, a feeling that the urgency has lowered, even if it has not disappeared completely. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs of regulation beginning. You may notice your mind trying to check whether the anxiety is gone yet. That habit is understandable. The mind has been on guard for a long time. But checking pulls you out of the moment and back into effort. Instead of checking, stay present. Let calm continue its work without supervision. Peace does not need to be monitored to remain. If anxious thoughts surface again, do not push them away. Resistance creates tension. Let them pass like background noise while your attention stays grounded in your body. Notice where you are supported right now, the chair beneath you, the floor under your feet, the steady rhythm of your breathing. These sensations anchor you in the present, where anxiety has less power. Calm does not need to justify itself. It does not need to explain why it came or how long it will stay. It simply settles when it is welcomed. The body learns safety through consistency, not intensity. By staying still a little longer, you are teaching your nervous system that peace is allowed here. If nothing feels different yet, that is also okay. Sometimes the deepest shifts are happening beneath awareness. Just because you cannot feel them clearly does not mean they are not occurring. Calm can begin quietly, below the surface, and reveal itself later through better rest, clearer thinking, or a softer emotional response. This moment is not about achieving a certain feeling. It is about creating conditions where calm is possible. Conditions where the body no longer feels rushed, where the mind no longer feels pressured to perform, where the heart no longer feels alone in holding everything together. Staying still is an act of trust. Trust that peace does not need to be chased. Trust that your body knows how to settle when it feels safe. Trust that God's presence is not fragile and does not disappear when words stop. Let the silence be gentle, not empty. Let it carry reassurance without needing to speak. This is where calm deepens, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it time. Remain here for a few more breaths. Nothing else is required. Peace does not rush, it settles. This moment does not ask you to do anything outward. It asks for something quieter, an internal decision about how you will respond the next time anxiety shows up. Not a promise to never feel anxious again. Not a vow to be stronger. Just a gentle agreement with yourself to respond differently. Anxiety often demands immediate action. Fix this. Think harder. Escape the feeling. And for a long time, that urgency has controlled the way you respond. But now you have experienced something different. You have felt what happens when you do not obey the urgency. When you stay instead of flee, when you allow calm to approach instead of chasing relief, this is where a small internal commitment matters, not because it solves everything, but because it changes direction. The next time anxiety tightens your chest or speeds up your thoughts, you may remember this moment, not perfectly, not dramatically, but enough to pause before reacting, enough to breathe before spiraling, enough to choose presence over panic. You do not need to announce this commitment to anyone. You do not need to explain it or formalize it. It is strengthened by being lived, not spoken. Each time you respond to anxiety with awareness instead of resistance, you reinforce safety in your body. You teach your nervous system that it does not need to escalate to be heard. If it feels helpful, you can acknowledge this moment in a simple way. A quiet word, a short phrase, something like peace or amen. Not to prove anything, not for others to see, just to mark that something shifted, that you noticed calm, even briefly, that you allowed yourself to receive instead of fight. There is no pressure to feel calm all the time after this. Anxiety may return. That does not erase what happened here. It simply means your system is learning. Learning takes repetition. Safety builds through consistency. Each time you return to this posture, calm becomes easier to access. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are practicing a new way of responding. And that practice matters more than perfection. Small moments of calm accumulate over time, even when anxiety still visits. This internal shift is subtle, but it is powerful. It moves you from reacting to choosing, from resisting to allowing, from fearing anxiety to understanding it. That understanding changes everything, because anxiety loses its power when it is no longer treated as an emergency. Let this moment be enough. You do not need to squeeze more out of it. Trust that what you experienced will carry forward in quiet ways, in how you breathe later, in how you pause next time, in how you speak to yourself when tension rises. You are allowed to take this calm with you without guarding it. Peace does not disappear when you stop focusing on it. It stays available, ready to return whenever you create space for it again. This anxiety does not define you. It does not speak the truth about who you are or where you are going. It is something you are experiencing, not something you are becoming. And experiences change, especially when they are met with patience instead of pressure. You are not alone in this. Even when anxiety made you feel isolated, even when your thoughts told you that no one else understood, you were never carrying this by yourself. God has been present through every breath, every moment of tension, every quiet release you felt here. His presence did not wait for you to calm down. It met you exactly where you were. Peace can return again, not once, not perfectly, but repeatedly. Each time you pause, each time you breathe, each time you choose not to panic when tension appears. Peace is not fragile. It does not disappear forever because anxiety shows up. It waits for permission to settle again. You do not need to fear the next wave of anxiety. When it comes, you will not face it empty-handed. You have felt what calm can feel like. You have learned that your body can settle when it feels safe. You have seen that you do not need to fight yourself to find relief. Carry this knowledge gently. Let it support you instead of burden you. Let it remind you that anxiety is not an emergency and calm is not unreachable. You are learning how to return to peace, not how to avoid anxiety forever. As you move forward from this moment, let reassurance stay louder than fear. Let gentleness guide you more than urgency. And when you need to, return to this space again. Calm is not a one-time gift. It is a place you can revisit. You are held. You are safe in this moment, and peace can meet you again whenever you allow it.